Okay, you guys, I need to talk about this. Jack Nicholson, three-time Oscar winner, $400 million fortune, is 88 years old and spends his days alone on a balcony watching helicopters, wearing the same sweatshirt for 3 days. I'm not making that up. The photos exist. And the reason behind it? It might be darker than the memory loss rumors. The man who vanished for 18 months. Let me paint you the picture because I don't think people realize how bad this got. October 2021, Jack's at a Lakers game with his son Ray, smiling, waving, doing Jack things. Normal night. Then, and I swear this is true, he goes home and just disappears. 18 months, not a single public sighting. Paparazzi are camped outside his gates 24/7, getting literally nothing. Friends start calling the house and can't get through. His own kids are reportedly telling people, "We don't know when Dad last left his room." Now, what kind of person does that? What are they hiding? Because here's what the tabloids started whispering, and this is where it gets juicy. Sources close to the family reportedly told Radar Online that Jack had been refusing to change clothes for days at a time, that he'd lost interest in his own art collection, the same $150 million Picasso hoard he'd been obsessively building since the 1960s. That one night, someone found him just sitting in a dark room of Marlon Brando's old house, not watching TV, not reading, just sitting. And when they asked if he was okay, he apparently said, quote, "I'm waiting for Marlon." Marlon Brando died in 2004. That story alone should tell you something is very, very wrong in that house. His mind is gone. Then April 2023 happens, and the Daily Mail gets the shot that broke Hollywood. Jack on his red balcony, orange t-shirt, gray sweats, hair a complete mess, tapping the railing and rocking back and forth like he didn't even know the photographer was there. A neighbor, someone on that same Mulholland Drive hilltop, went on record with the New York Post and said, and I quote, "His mind is gone." 5 brutal words, said about the guy who won an Oscar playing McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Let that hit you for a second. But wait, because here's where it gets weird. Not everyone agrees. Bill O'Reilly, random cameo in this story I know, came out and said he just had a long, sharp conversation with Jack. Said Jack was following the news, asking intelligent questions, totally with it. Danny DeVito, who's been Jack's best friend since 1975, told People magazine earlier this year, quote, "I just saw him and he's great." Great. So which is it? Is Jack fine, or is he a ghost in his own house? That's the mystery nobody in his circle will touch. And honestly, I think they're both lying. The insiders think he's trapped because something doesn't add up. And I've been reading around on this for weeks. And here's what keeps coming back. The people who say he's fine are people Jack wants to protect his image. Close friends. People he's trained to give the corporate answer. The people leaking that his mind is gone? Those are neighbors, staff, people who see him every single day. And they are terrified. One tabloid source reportedly said the family has quietly rotated a small team of caretakers through the house for years now. Another whispered that the will has already been rewritten twice since 2020. Whole fortunes, they say, have been restructured. $400 million worth of real estate, art, and royalties? Suddenly up for grabs? You don't redo that paperwork unless something has changed. And then there's the Ray question. Jack has 6 kids with 5 different women, because of course he does. Jennifer is 61, Caleb is 54, Honey is 44, Lorraine is 34, Tessa is 30. But the one who's always in the photos now? His 32-year-old son, Ray. Handsome kid, mirror image of young Jack, same eyebrows, same smirk, the whole thing. Ray has basically moved into his dad's orbit. Every Lakers game, every rare outing, Ray is there with his hand on Jack's shoulder. Is that love? Is that caretaking? Or is Ray quietly running the show now? Insiders reportedly say Jack hasn't signed a check himself in over a year. Think about what that means. $400 million. Of loneliness. Now can we talk about the house, because this part honestly wrecked me. Jack bought his place on Mulholland Drive in 1969 for $5 million. Beverly Hills, behind Iron Gates, right next to Franklin Canyon Reservoir. The street used to be called Bad Boy Drive in the 70s because of who lived there. Warren Beatty, Roman Polanski, and 50 feet from Jack's front door, Marlon Brando himself. The parties they threw up there. My God, Brando and Jack would reportedly stay up until 5 in the morning drinking, arguing about acting, chasing women through the canyon. Jack once claimed he slept with 20,000 women. 20,000. That's not a typo. 8 a week for 50 years. I'll let you do the math on whether that's physically possible. Then Brando died in 2004, alone in that house, morbidly obese, hadn't been seen in public for years. And this is the part that gives me chills. Jack bought Brando's entire estate the next year, didn't renovate it, didn't rent it out, just quietly absorbed it into his own compound, and according to multiple reports, has been known to walk through Brando's old rooms at night. Why? Why would you do that? A psychologist I read somewhere said it's called anticipatory mourning. You start grieving the thing before it happens. Jack was watching his best friend die alone in reclusion, and something inside him decided, I'm going next. And here we are, the last movie nobody talks about. Here's the detail that still bothers me. Jack's last movie was 2010, a romantic comedy called How Do You Know, with Reese Witherspoon, Owen Wilson, and Paul Rudd. You know what that movie grossed against its $120 million budget? $48 million? That's right. It lost over $70 million. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 31%. One critic literally called it, quote, a parade of nothingness. That's how Jack Nicholson's career ended. Not with The Departed, not with The Shining, not with his 12th Oscar nomination. With a bomb nobody remembers, and a role so forgettable even Jack reportedly told friends he regretted signing on. And then he just never acted again. No announcement, no farewell interview, no final monologue, just poof, gone. In 2013, a Radar online source confirmed what everyone suspected. Quote, there's a simple reason for his retirement. It's memory loss. Jack can no longer remember his lines. His team denied it hard, but come on. Jack has been alive for 13 years since that denial and has filmed precisely 0 scripts. You tell me who's telling the truth, and his longtime director, James L. Brooks, the guy who shot Terms of Endearment with him, is still in pure denial. Told people in 2023, quote, I keep thinking he'll get itchy and scratch it. Jim, buddy, he's not getting itchy, he's forgotten what an itch is. The woman who got the phone call. But every now and then, a detail slips through the cracks that makes you realize Jack might still be in there somewhere. And this one gets me every time. January 2025. The Los Angeles wildfires are tearing through Pacific Palisades, Malibu, whole neighborhoods burning down. People are evacuating with trash bags full of photo albums. And out of nowhere, Angelica Houston's phone rings. Angelica, who dated Jack for 17 years, from 1973 to 1990. The woman he arguably cheated on more than anyone else alive. Jack reportedly called her personally from his bunker on Mulholland to make sure she was safe. She confirmed it herself later. She said it quietly, didn't make a big deal of it. But think about that for a second. A man whose mind is gone picks up the phone, remembers Angelica's number from 40 years ago, and calls to check on her during a disaster. That's not dementia. That's a selective disappearance. That's a guy who remembers who matters when it matters and has decided everything else isn't worth the energy. And honestly, that might be sadder than the memory loss story, because it means Jack knows precisely what he's doing. He's chosen this. SNL 50 and the cane. Then February 16th, 2025 happens, and it nearly broke the internet. SNL 50th Anniversary Special. every living comedy legend in one studio. And during the middle of Adam Sandler's musical tribute, the doors open and out walks Jack. 87 at the time, cane in hand, black jacket, Yankees beret, those famous purple-tinted glasses, and that same smirk he's been giving for 6 decades. He says 6 words. "Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Sandler," then sits back down next to his daughter Lorraine. And Studio 8H loses its mind. Twitter erupts. Old fans are crying because for 90 seconds, the king was back. But here's what the cameras didn't show. A source at the Carlisle Hotel where Jack was staying told the New York Post that Jack was a little wobbly and hated being seen. Quote, "Part of his appeal in the past was his extravagant character. He doesn't like to be seen much in public now." Translation, he knows he's not that guy anymore. He knows the Jack we remember and the Jack who exists now are 2 different people, and he'd rather we keep the memory intact than learn the truth. You just know that cane broke his heart. Jack Nicholson with a cane. Unreal. The $400 million ghost. Let's do the money, because this is the part that really hurts. Jack is worth $400 million. His real estate alone hits $100 million. His art collection, I'm not even joking, has original Picassos, a Monet, a Matisse, a Modigliani, 3 Magrittes, a Degas sketch, and a Rodin sculpture, valued at $150 million on its own. That's a museum in a guy's house on Mulholland. And his 1989 Batman deal? Still the greatest actor contract in Hollywood history. Jack negotiated points on the gross. The movie made $412 million worldwide. He walked away with roughly $60 million for one role. He made $15 million for As Good as It Gets, $20 million for Anger Management, 12 Oscar nominations, 3 wins, Kennedy Center Honor, AFI Life Achievement Award, the most decorated male actor of all time. None of it matters to him now, not 1 penny. The Picassos hang on walls he barely walks past. The pool sits empty. The famous parties are over. The rooms where he claimed to have bedded 20,000 women are silent. The Jack who used to be the most dangerous man in every room is now the guy who taps a balcony rail and watches helicopters. And here's the twist that really got me. Insiders reportedly say he doesn't even watch his own movies anymore. His own films. Won't touch them. Someone put The Shining on at his house once, according to a source, and he reportedly got up and walked out of the room without a word. The saddest ending. In Hollywood. So here's where we are. The Jack Nicholson you grew up loving. The eyebrows in The Shining. The purple-suited Joker. The grinning Lakers fan with the sunglasses permanently glued to his face. That Jack has been gone for over a decade. What's left is an 88-year-old man in a mansion he barely uses, surrounded by art he won't look at, cared for by kids who might be running his finances, calling old flames during wildfires, and mostly just sitting. There's no scandal here, no arrest, no bankruptcy, no TMZ meltdown. And somehow, that's worse. Jack didn't crash. He just faded. Quietly, deliberately, completely. In a town that worships big dramatic exits, the biggest legend of them all chose the opposite. He chose to disappear into his own house and never come back out. The lights on Mulholland are still on. The house is still standing. The legend is still breathing. But the Jack Nicholson who owned this town took his final bow a long, long time ago, and nobody even heard the curtain fall.